I love it when I can get rain. It's like my garden gets watered for free. I don't have to put the effort in. It's fantastic. This guy is finally reaching my little ladder. My pumpkin ladder, that's what I'm going to call it. And today I was banging these things in, these posts, with a hammer and that. I had a ladder here. And one of the posts fell on this that I had tied to this. I snapped it. I'm so sorry, pumpkin plant. I was really annoyed about that, but anyway. So the plan is with these ones, I'm going to try and just have it like a frame basically, so I can hang either some mesh type stuff off it or shade cloth things, and also have like drop down tie points for the tomatoes and everything, so I don't have to have all these separate stakes. Because the mesh or cloth that I'm thinking summer is going to be really, really harsh. Even yesterday it was in the 30s. I think it was 35, and these got smashed. I didn't even take a video or photo to show you, but they just wilted. They were nearly on the ground. Not looking happy, so I've got to do something about keeping them safe from the heat a bit. The beetroot's covered the worst when it's really harsh sun. Beetroot and most pumpkin. The pumpkins in these garden beds didn't like it. They were really sad looking. But these ones, like in these little garden beds, and that guy up there, they were fine. I don't know how, because they both all get the same amount of sun. So I don't know. That one just looked as perky as it does already. So I covered the top of my sugar cane with some material to try and stop the ants from getting in and eating the life out of it. But they're still looking pretty healthy. I'm quite impressed. And this choker, I don't think they like sun very much, or as harsh as it gets. I'm gonna have to put a better sun protector up for it, because it's not looking happy because of the sun when we get those really harsh days. Look at my sunflower. Can't wait for them to start opening up. And my stripy corn. These ones are so cool, these leaves. The colour, they're like multicolored corn, I think. I went shopping. I'm going to try these 2 olives. 1, 2. I got 2 strawberry plants because I thought, why not? I haven't been able to sprout any of mine. And I'm trying a hot chili for Brad. I think these were all $1 each on special, and a lavender kangaroo paw. I have 3 blue-banded bees in the garden this morning. This is so cool. They're landing on my pumpkins now and my tomatoes, not just those everlasting daisies up there. I also don't know if this is a problem. Somebody mentioned something yesterday what this could be, because my flowers, see how they keep dropping off at this little sort of elbow after they flower. So they said to put some bicarb soda in water and spray it for something that I can't remember it's called. But in the meantime, I've actually got a tomato. So it's not a complete loss. Actually, I've got 2 tomatoes here starting. But yeah, I don't know. It started where it was tied with material. I had different material tying it instead of this string. And it's like sort of goosebumps. I don't know. This one did it a bit too, right there. So I changed over to this stuff to see if that made a difference, if it was reacting with the material. But look at this tomato. I can't remember what I've planted where because the seeds all got so mixed up because I had such a hard time germinating them that I just put a whole bunch of them together in a piece of paper and folded it and like paper towel and wet it. Then they germinated, so I just sort of put them in my seedling trays. So half of these, I don't know what I've planted where. I'll just have to wait and see when they're older. So here is me doing whatever I can to try and make... My whole idea's changed with this. I'm just doing what I can. I'm trying to make this to hold a piece of wood from each stick. But I think I might make it so that I can pull it out if I need to. So I'm just going to loop this around and then put another one of these, what do you call them? Like a U-nail thing up here, right where that one is. A little something like this. I had grander ideas for this originally, but you know, these are kind of a semi-permanent thing I'm making, so eventually they'll come down for hopefully something better. Got them done. I would like wood across there too, but I might have to just tie it or like use rope or wire. I just picked the 2 biggest ones I could find, my beetroot, and a couple smaller ones so I can preserve them. What a beauty. This one is like perfect. I've got another big one right in there that I'm going to let go to seed. It's doing quite well, but I'm also doing a bit more chop and dropping, especially getting closer to summer. I want a bit more natural organic matter on here to try and keep some of the moisture in there as well as the sugarcane mulch, but it'll just degrade and go in there, and also I hope be good to keep the heat off and the moisture in. The shade, because a lot of the leaves are gone now. There's more sun getting to the actual beetroot, so I shoved some leaves down under as well to keep the sun off the actual beetroot, and hopefully that's not a bad thing. I guess I'll see. But now I'm going to preserve these. Okay, I'm going to try not to rush it, but I'll make it quick and simple. I use salt. I just use natural sea salt in however much water is going to cover all the beetroot once it's cut up and put in there. The only other 2 things I use, I'm pretty sure, are just brown sugar, and it isn't malt vinegar, it's just white vinegar. I'm using the bottle. And I just do everything by taste. I don't have a recipe for this. I just mix what I want in the water, like, because once the beetroot are boiled in this water, I reuse that then to jar it. But it's all by taste, so it would be your preference if you do this as well. So then I chop off the tops and bottoms and then peel them with a peeler. Usually when I chop them after this, I've been doing slices because I'm used to getting tinned beetroot in slices. But I'm actually going to try and do beetroot chunks this time. So I'm just going to estimate how big I want them and chop them up. These are what I'm doing, chopping them about this size. The bigger they are, obviously the longer they're going to take to cook, but I want a different style of beetroot. So yeah, I'm just going to put all of these in this water. I put enough salt in here, like I put salt when I boil pasta, put it in the water, so I kind of use the same amount of salt. I just had to tip a little bit of water out because I didn't want to bubble over. So I just put it on high until it starts boiling, and then I turn it down to just simmer. It's going to take at least half an hour, I think, just simmering for it to go soft. But when it's ready is when you can stab test it, and it's basically soft like a potato. If you were boiling potatoes, the knife goes through easily and then they're ready. Okay, I've turned them down, but the knife goes through very easily in them, so they're ready. I have boiling water. I rinsed the jars out previously, emptied them. Now I'm just got them upside down to sterilize. Once I empty them, I'm going to put the chunks in the jars, and then I'm going to add a little bit more liquid to this once it's done and add my sugar and vinegar to make the juice, and then boil it back to boiling point again before I then fill the jars up. Got it back on the stove to boil, flavouring it until I'm happy with how it tastes once it's boiling. I'm going to pour it in until all of these are covered, and I only needed 4 jars for this instead of 5. And there they all are. I'm going to leave them until they cool down because they're really too hot to touch now, and then put them somewhere cool and eat them whenever I want. I have some leftover juice here, so I'm going to experiment and try and reduce it and see what it looks like and tastes like. But anyway, that's all from me today.